Hey everyone, welcome back to our scenes. So in today's video we will be talking about sexual reproduction, okay, as an introduction, and we will be going in detail about sexual reproduction in plants. So let's get started. So we're going to keep it simple. What do we mean by sexual reproduction? So it's a method of reproduction where fusion of male and female gametes take place. So there is a male and there is a female gamete. Okay, the reproductive cells, what we are talking about, is nothing but gametes, and when they fuse, that results in the production of zygote, okay, which results in the reproduction of the being or the species. So here fusion of the gametes will result in variation, and this is the reason why we prefer, or nature prefers, sexual reproduction much more than the asexual reproduction, because in sexual reproduction we have a wide variety, or should I say a lot of variations happening. Okay, so now let's get in detail with sexual reproduction in plants. For sexual reproduction, we have got special organs. Okay, in case of plants, is nothing but flowers. So flowers are responsible for the reproduction, or should I say the sexual reproduction. So flowers are nothing but the reproductive organs of the plants. So if I talk about a typical flower, you have got 4 whorls. The first whorl consists of sepals. Okay, this one. The second consists of petals. Third, stamen. And the fourth, pistil. Okay, so I can show you it in this manner. Okay, these are the sepals, the first one. Then comes the petals. Then comes the stamens, the peanut-like heads, what you can see here. Okay, which will be circling around. And the last one is this whorl, or the bulb with a long string. So this is nothing but our pistil. So 4 whorls. Now, depending upon the type of flower, again the type of reproduction or the type of fertilization might differ. So we have got 2 types of flowers. The first one is bisexual and the other one is unisexual. So bisexual is, the normal hibiscus flower, where you have got both male as well as female reproductive organs or the parts in the same flower, like in case of this one. Okay, the common flower what we study is nothing but a bisexual flower. You can see the stamens as well as pistil in the same flower. Okay, stamen is the male reproductive part, whereas pistil stands for the female reproductive part. Now, in case of a unisexual flower, any one will be present in a one flower. That is, either a male part will be present in the flower or a female part. No 2 together. So best examples are papaya and watermelon. So here you will find unisexual flowers. Male flowers will be different, female flowers will be different. Female flowers are generally larger, okay, whereas male flowers are smaller, okay, because their main aim is just to give the gametes. Okay, so now the structure of the flower. Okay, so we're going to go with the colored ones. So this will give a better look. Okay, as we have seen all of this already, the sepals, the below one, the petals, the colored part, the stamens, and then the center one, that is the pistil. Okay, the pistil has got stigma, the sticky part at the top, then it has got a long style, okay, and lastly the bulge, which is nothing but our ovary. So this ovary has got everything ready inside, in case fertilization happens and it receives the male gamete, what is going to happen. So we're going to see that in detail. So this is just the structure. Next, let us talk about how fertilization occurs through this flower. Okay, for that purpose we just need the male gametes and the female gametes. The petals, sepals are just for the attraction, or should I say just to attract the bees as well as the birds for fertilization. So either by any of the means which you have studied in your 8th standard, the transfer of pollen grains in whatever means, by air, by water, by insects, or by birds, by any means, what happens is the pollen grains from the stamens will pass on to stigma. Either it might be from the same flower in case of a bisexual flower, or from a different flower like in unisexual flower. The male gamete will have to travel a distance Okay, so those pollen grains, these tiny little grains, will be transferred on the sticky area, that is the stigma. Now, on being sticky over here, on getting adhered on the stigma layer, so this is just the enlarged part of your pistil. So because all the reproduction, whatever is going to happen, it's in this area itself. So this pollen grain will be transferred from the anther to the stigma of the flower. Since this is sticky, it will get stuck on it. Okay, so by any means. Now after this, what will happen is it will start to germinate. So for germination, what will happen is the egg, when you for the omelette or something, when you break it and just open it, okay, and whatever content you have inside, it will go like a drop below. Okay, just like that, whatever contents are present inside this pollen grain, they'll have an opening over here, and because of that, the entire content inside the pollen grain will be poured down in a long tube. It will go on elongating itself. Okay, and this pollen tube will be growing directly in the direction of the female germ cell, the main cell which will undergo reproduction, which will actually undergo fertilization. Okay, so it's because of certain hormones, okay, which will be directing the direction for the growth of the pollen tube. So this tube is called as the pollen tube. Now inside this pollen tube, you are going to see a little cell, the male germ cell, or the main the main tiny cell which will be fertilizing with the female germ cell. Now slowly this male cell, see, as the tube is growing completely, it's creating the pathway till the female germ cell. What's going to happen is this male germ cell is going to flow through it till it reaches the female germ cell, and after reaching here, the male and female germ cells are going to fuse. Okay, fertilization is going to happen. After fertilization, as you know, the product of fertilization is nothing but zygote. So here we are going to get our zygote. Okay, so on getting our zygote, what is happening is it's going to divide. It's starting to develop. So this zygote will start to convert into embryo. So the ovule part, these are the ovule parts. So it's going to turn into embryo. As it is turning into embryo, the layer, the ovary layer will start to harden, and it will cause the hard shell kind of thing around the embryo. Depending upon the type of plants, different parts will actually contribute to different layers of the the oncoming fruit or the seed. In some plants you are just going to see the seeds. In some plants you are going to see fruit around the seeds. So it all depends upon the species and upon the layers present. Okay, so as it is happening, this particular ovule will start to convert into seed. Okay, the main embryo, and a hard layer or a hard coating will be present around it, along with a fleshy layer in most of the cases, as in the fruits. Okay, this ovary and this external layers might convert into fruits. Rest all the sepals and petals, they are going to fall off. They have got no job anymore. And so as this fertilization happens and it starts to grow, they all are going to fall off. That is how it is. Now once the seed has been formed, this seed has to germinate. This seed is like a baby plant inside. Okay, and if you sow it, or if you just give it proper nutrients, it's going to grow. It's going to germinate into a new baby plant. Okay, so for that, as you can see here, this is a seed. Okay, a seed with two cotyledons. Okay, this is the first cotyledon and second cotyledon. The splitting seeds, what we normally see, they are of two cotyledons. Okay, this looks like chana, the Kabuli chana like kind of seed. Okay, so it has got two cotyledons. In between these two cotyledons, at the tip, you're going to see something, a very tiny stick like thing. Okay, now if you're giving it water, if you are letting it sprout, you're going to see this part as this. Okay, there will be a part which is embedded inside, that will be known as a radicle, whereas the upper part will be known as plumule. The lower radicle will result in the future root. okay, the root of the plant, new baby plant, whereas the upper part, the plumule, will result in the upper, that is whatever part you are going to see, observe about the ground level, that shoot system will be coming from this plumule. Okay, so that was about your sexual reproduction in plants. In case of doubts, just leave me a comment at the bottom and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for watching.